Thank you for having me, I would
Yeah,
say.
no, of course, of course. It was so great to meet you and talk and eventually make this meeting. But
Yes.
I would love to know about you and what you do and why you're at the festival.
Yes. Yeah, my name is Mitchell Spruyt. I'm an actor. I think I'm especially known for my most recent role in the Dutch movie Zondebokken. It's a Dutch name, hard to pronounce for many. But I'm here because our movie was sent to the festival last year, but it's now getting ready to be on the streaming platforms. And I'm especially here in Cannes because I had some appointments with people in the industry. So that's the main reason why I came.
Awesome.
Last year it was because of our movie, and this year is because of the things that are now going on.
Right.
For example, streaming platforms and those things.
Okay, awesome. My dad's actually so are you from the Netherlands?
I'm from Belgium, but I
Oh,
lived
okay.
most of the time in Belgium and the Netherlands both.
Ah, okay. Because my mom and dad, my mom has citizenship in Netherlands because they both studied there for a couple years
Yeah,
before they moved to
yeah.
America. So that's really
Ah,
awesome.
really, really. And how do they like it there?
They loved it. They honestly
Ah,
they love it more than the U.S. now. They just love Europe and being out of the country in general. My mom's Brazilian and my dad's Scottish, so
oh
it's a
wow,
little clash.
that's
Yeah.
a crazy
I
combination.
know, I know. Well, what
Lovely, lovely.
do you want to tell me like about the film that you have streaming? That is what you're doing right now.
Hmm. Yes, I cannot really talk about yet on where it can be streamed because it's not yet signed
Okay.
from both sides. Um, so I cannot say a lot about these things because I spoke to the director yesterday and he obviously he really asked me not to reach out about these details
Right.
for now.
Right. Okay. Cool. Are you willing to tell like a little bit about the story of the film, or is that also something you can't talk about?
No, 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 no. It's sure that this is fully possible.
Okay.
It was in all cinemas in Belgium and the Netherlands in February this year. I can perfectly tell it's no big secret anymore. The story is about the Bok Riders. It was a criminal gang in the 18th century. These people were there are actually two uh, stories, and it's still not really clear what is the correct one. Some say there were poor people who were trying to survive and steal from the rich to
Hmm.
survive. And the other one says that was just a criminal gang who burn houses and rob everyone, and there were devilish people. And back in the days, they gave the name Buck Riders to them because they truly believed that they were flying on bucks from village to village because in their eyes it was not possible that they did so many robberies in such a short period of time. So they believed that they had a pact with the devil to do these awful things.
Okay. Awesome.
And my character is that I am. There are two main investors back in the time, investigators who needed to go after this gang, and I'm one of the two investigators who are giving their lives to stop this gang.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, when you do find out like when where it will be streaming, I'd love to find the link and watch the it will it be a show or a
Sure,
movie?
it's a movie. It's a
Okay,
movie.
awesome. Well, I would love to
Yes,
hear about it when it comes out fully. Um,
absolutely. I will let you
yeah.
know.
So,
It will
how
be
did
for
you
normally October.
Okay, awesome. October this year,
Yeah,
this
this
year,
year.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how did you prepare for the role for the investigator?
Well, yeah. This was slightly different than other roles because, yeah, if you need to create a fictive character and create a whole new reality, which you bring to life. It's of course different in this example where I played a person who actually lived in the 18th century. So this was a different way of preparing. I was even slightly nervous for this because the person is in some cities, especially in the Netherlands, he's kind of a hero. The investigator, because he stopped the criminality back in the days, and he's still getting honored in a lot of cities. So I was very nervous because the pressure was high to perform like the real him in the
Right.
best way possible that I could.
Right.
So yeah, how did I prepare it? A lot of things. What is this person's character? What is his background? Is he married? Does he has children? How do he walk? What does this person wants? What is motivation, weaknesses? It's everything. You needed to go. I needed to really dive into the history and really study this person, how he lived, and
Yeah.
it was really cool because
Yeah.
there were like old documents that has been sent to me and
Wow.
old pictures, and it was so crazy. We even did some scenes in the house where he truly lived.
Wow, that's amazing.
That was crazy. That was so crazy. It was giving me goosebumps to stand in this
Right.
house performing his life in the house where he really lived in. It was so crazy.
Yeah. So were you able to meet him?
No. He lived in the 18th century.
Oh my, I'm so stupid. I don't know why I thought that. But
We
is
recorded it.
is
We
there
recorded
any
it.
like of his family still alive today that like helped you out with this movie or like with the information?
There are how what is the word in English? There are people who are still related to him, but it's
Mhm.
of course it's far away. It was
Right.
1789,
Yeah.
so it's far away, and unfortunately I didn't meet his siblings.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, when did you start acting and what was it like breaking into the world of film?
Um, uh, I started in 2015. I started
Wow.
in 2015 with I did an acting education. I started with smaller roles, also in smaller movies, not a big one like this.
Right.
But how was it to break into the world of film? Uh, well, my ambition as when I was very young was always to once be on the big screen and in all cinemas in the country. It was always my ambition and a small dream deep inside. But a fun fact is that when it finally happened this year in February, uh, I saw myself on the screen and I couldn't watch it like the first 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
It was so awkward to see myself, and I was constantly paying attention to every single detail in my performance, which is of course not good. But
Yeah.
in the first time, you don't know how to process it because sometimes it's even weird to hear your own voice, and seeing yourself on an 80-inch screen, it was crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And especially I was a little bit confused, because first I thought it was cool, but I wanted to become an actor, but the opposite was true in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was not cool. I felt awkward and a little bit insecure the first time
Yeah.
when I saw myself in the cinemas. But now I'm used to it after a while. I discovered just to let it go and to not pay attention to every single detail in your performance. And sometimes you just need to relax and be satisfied and enjoy the moment with the rest of the team. And I learned that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I can't imagine myself on an 80-inch TV just like watching every little thing on like my face or what I'm doing. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Did you just give yourself
it was.
time? Is that what helped you?
Yeah, it was. Just what helped me a lot was talking with other actors about it. I was very open and honest about it. The first time I said I don't know, man. It's weird. And they told me that they experienced it also before, and yeah, they learned me that with more experienced actors working, they learned me to just let it go,
Right.
and to you are if you watch it yourself, or your mother or your sister, they know you as a person, and you know yourself so
Yeah.
good, but you cannot watch it neutrally.
Yeah.
It's but now it's better, of course. But I'm just talking about my first time.
Yeah.
Was It was very crazy.
Well, that's great. Well, what elements do you look for in a script or a character that draws you into developing a movie or being an actor in that movie?
Well, there are many elements, in fact, that you can work with, especially strengths, weaknesses, everything, background, bond with his father. It goes a lot. But in my most recent movie, so Zondebokken, I love to enlarge uh, the ambition of my character, because that was the big, in my eyes, that was his biggest drive, and explain his actions and emotions most of the time, even though it was subtext many times, of course. Um, but he wanted to take over the power in his town, to prove himself to his father, who he was actually kind of afraid of. So this unhealthy ambition was great to work with, and yeah, this was the element in my most recent role that I loved to work with, was the unhealthy ambition of himself.
Yeah. Can you describe your collaboration process with the directors and the other cast members in this specific movie or in another movie that you played in?
Yeah, the name was Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, from Zac Efron. It's
Okay.
on Netflix. Well, the thing here is, I had a very special connection with the director from day one, because even at my first audition, I did 3 auditions for this role. Um, he was always the one that uh, really expressed his belief in my qualities as an actor,
Yeah.
and he made me feel very comfortable from day one. And even on days that it was more difficult, or I doubted, or you always have these moments, especially when it's your first big movie. And he knew it, and he was always there for me, and constantly communicating with me that he believed in it, and I should believe in myself, and all these things. So with him, I have a very, very good connection.
Yeah.
I think we call every week uh, about things, and yeah, he's a great guy. Um, and yeah, with the rest of the cast members, yeah, it during the process you start to create a strong bond together, because you're working all for one common goal, and it counts for everyone, from the set dresser to the director to the extras.
Right.
You're all in together. But the general relationship really felt like a family. You come so close. Some people you truly see more often than your own family
Right.
during these months. Uh, and of course, there are days that there will be arguments on the set, and sometimes hard words can be said. Um, as every single person in the industry knows how long the hours can be and how stressful it can be. But in the end of the day, it's important you give each other a hug, and you're friends again, and you're colleagues again, and you work. And yeah, the main rule was just to respect everyone, every single one on the set, and feel try to work as best as we can together. But in the end of the day, and even after the productions, I can only say that it still feels like a big family.
Right. Well, that's awesome. It's always nice to have a director that pushes you and motivates you in film and in everything. So that's awesome. Is he from Netherlands, and who's the director?
It's the director is Grispen.
Okay.
He was actually a guy that was into animation, movies.
Wow.
And now he flipped the script completely and he's now going to produce his second historical movie.
Awesome.
So he quit animation for some reason, and he's now into the historical ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and he was actually the guy during the auditions that was pushing for giving me that role.
Yeah.
So I truly believe him when he said that he believed in it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, going off of that other question, how do you approach playing a character with complex emotions and experiences?
It's as I said before in the question that you just asked me about doing a role is which I would think about of doing it. It's not, of course not always easy, but it's in my eyes a very beautiful and challenging part when you talk about the art of acting. Some emotions you have to dig so deep for to feel them or experience them, but preparation is 90% of the job, and trying to get into this emotion partly via your own experience, for most part via your own experience, but also understanding the character's reason behind it. Um, yeah, but also I said before, the most complex is when he has characteristics that you don't feel familiar with. Then I try to dig deep in my own experience, which can go way back.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even childish experiences, or in some ways it can be even emotions or experience that you have pushed away over the years,
Right.
because and like they say, it's some scenes you do or some performances you do, and you get emotions, and people ask, wow, why or how did you get that emotion? And it's sometimes very personal that
Yeah.
you don't even really speak about it or something.
Right. So I always had this question, and this is another side question, but when you play roles where you need to cry or be like really sad, do you think of something like what do you think of in that moment? Do you think of like a personal experience aside from the film, or do you think of like just something else?
Yeah, um, you have different uh, techniques in acting. You can use both, but I use a lot of moments that there is a scene, and you can go. You have the choice to or go into the scene and create your own reality and imagination, but you can also try to get your emotions from something that has nothing to do with the film or this scene. But yeah, it's completely aside of it, and just comes from your inner uh, history or inner emotion, which can help you to make the scene full.
Right. Well, that's awesome. It's great finally hearing like an actor telling me how that happens, because I always see these films with these like captivating like experiences of people just crying and the sadness, and it really moves me. So I always wondered where they got that from. So it's awesome hearing that.
Yeah,
But
as I said, it can go very personal. It can go very deep, even traumatic things. It can go. But it helps you in every scene, and
right.
it's not always easy. It can be exhausting after a day of performing. You
Yeah.
can you are home, and your mind is exhausting.
Right.
Not only your body, but
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah, I can only imagine. But can you share any behind the scenes stories from this film or any recent projects you've done?
We had a funny but also dangerous fact in the movie. It was, I think, even only the second day of production. It happens. There was a scene with a horse. In which one of the main actresses, Ilona Dinks, she was sitting on the horse, and the horse was going very, very fast. But she wasn't really experienced with horse riding. Myself and her, we needed to take classes before the production started. But still, even with some classes, we were not experienced at all. And suddenly, the horse, she was, I don't know, afraid of the audio thing, the long stick. And suddenly the horse changed direction and started like running into the camera crew, who needed to dive away from with all the equipment and everything.
Wow.
So and we told this also with the premiere. There was almost no movie if it could go seriously wrong there.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy. Wow. It's crazy how you have to. Yeah, it's crazy how you have to like learn how to ride the horse before the film. It's amazing how like the preparation you have to do for the film.
Yeah, it is. It took me 3 days before I wanted to sit on the horse.
Yeah.
I was devastating. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of things that most people don't see. They just see the movie, but almost no one sees what is behind it. It's a lot of preparation.
Right. So I know a lot of my friends are aspiring actors and film majors. So what advice would you give to aspiring actors who are wanting to start their career?
Yeah, everyone in the industry knows that it's a very complex industry. It is not always easy to find a job, especially when you are wanted to start, when you have zero experience. If you have, for example, no show reel or anything, nothing that you can show, you have to show your talent in some way in the beginning phase. My advice would be create your own content, write your own scenes, write your own short scripts, work them out, play in it yourself, even film it with a hand camera if necessary. You can do a lot these days, and so you have a start. It's not the best show reel, but it's something to start,
like build a portfolio and stuff like that.
Indeed. But the most important thing I would say, and it sounds very cliche, but cliches are there for a reason. Believe that it is possible. So many people I saw that started also around 2015. I saw quitting. Very talented people I saw quitting. You don't have to be born in LA. You don't have to be born in London to become an actor. I grew up in a small town with farmers and cows, and it's hard. But you have to believe and especially surround yourself with people who believe in you and not trying to not motivate you, and just surround yourself with good people who trying to reach you higher.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Seeing like you must be so proud of yourself for coming from a small town and now you're in Cannes featuring like a film.
Yeah, yes, I'm very proud of it. Especially my mother, I see it; she's very proud, and that makes me happy. It's what you do it for.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. So I know that there are a lot of opinions in when you see a film from the audience. So how would you handle criticism or feedback about your performances?
Well, yeah, it's in some way it's part of the job. It is there and it will be there.
Yeah.
Back in the days, you made a movie, and the criticism was maybe in the newspaper, but these days everyone has social media, everyone has an opinion, and I don't really mind. You need to filter it as good as possible. It's often not even personal. Of course, you cannot satisfy everyone. but it's good for self-reflection.
Yeah.
That's it. And unless the criticism comes from my mother, then it bothers me more because she means it.
Yeah.
She means it.
Yeah.
It's personal when she said it,
I
but
know,
no,
exactly. I totally get that. But my last question for you, are there any actors or directors you aspire to work with in the future?
There is from actors. I have one in one in particular. Actually, it's Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
I would love to work with this guy. I would really love to work with him. I love. I always love when I watch his movies. I love his chemistry with his co-actors.
Yeah.
Especially when he's working with Will Ferrell or something.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. You feel the chemistry. You feel even that there's there's so much going on. I cannot even explain it. But I would love to work with Mark Wahlberg on a day. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
And for directors, at first, for years, I always would say Steven Spielberg because I was really a big fan of his productions also back in the days. But for example, if I see Omar Sy, the French actor, if I see him in Jurassic Park, for example, that's amazing. I think his productions are amazing, but also more recent ones like Christopher Nolan. It's an honor to work with such a talented people. But there are many directors. For directors, it's hard to say which one I would work with because there are so many.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You can check out the video when I post it on filmfestivals.com. But thank you so much, Mitchell.
You're welcome. Anytime.
This is Isabella at filmfestivals.com. Thank you so much for everything. I will see you soon.
Yes. See you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Mitchell.